Shana Tova, everyone. Welcome, Happy New Year, and welcome to West End Temple. Thank you. Our incredible choir has just led us in the song Ya'ale Kolenu, which means let our voices rise. So this Rosh Hashanah, we are here to let our voices rise together as a community. Some of us are here in our sanctuary, and some of us are here virtually. All of us are here to let our voices rise. Even with all of the hardship we have endured, as individuals, as a community, as a nation, as a world, we lift our voices to rejoice in this new year, in this opportunity to discover joy and renewal. We lift our voices to reflect on our deeds this past year, on our relationships in this past year, on all that has happened around us and our responses to it in this past year. We lift our voices as we return to one another, return to our dreams and our hopes, return to the Holy One, to purpose, to courage, to love. Ya'ale Kolenu, let our voices rise in beautiful song as we celebrate this new year. We begin every holiday with the lighting of candles, reminding ourselves of our power to bring light into the world with every action. We call now upon Sherry Copeland, the president of our temple, and her family to light the holiday candles. Page 17.
Creator of beginnings, as you created the world on this day, uniting fragments into a universe, so help unite our hearts and the hearts of all Jews to serve you. Illumine our lives with the light of your Torah, for by your light do we see light. Grant us this year a glimpse of the light of redemption, the light of healing and of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Are you going to read it? Or
Yeah, she did it.
Okay, so please.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu b'chag v'kner Yom Tov.
Amen.
Amen.
Bless it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik shel Yom Tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'eheyanu v'kivanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. I invite everyone now to take a moment to just take a deep breath and think about one hope that you have for this new year, one that you wouldn't mind sharing with someone else. And when you have it in your head, just give me a thumbs up when you have your hope in your head. Okay. Got a few more coming. Think about your hope. Okay. Good. So now I invite you to greet one another. Turn to someone behind you, next to you, in front of you. Say Shana Tova. Find out what their hope is for the new year. Yeah, that's it. You're here. So, as your prayer leaders tonight, Gabriel and I have the enormous privilege of taking your hopes, both spoken and unspoken, and lifting them on our voices into the heavens. It is with that intention that we continue with Hineni, meaning here I am, or I am present. Sung by Gabriel in front of the open ark, it expresses our sense of humility and awe in this sacred moment. We turn to pages 18 and 19. Please rise.
ונבחר מפחד, יושב תהילות ישראל. באתי לאמור ולכנן לפניך, על עמך ישראל אשר שלחוני. אף על פי שאיני חדאי והגון לכך, על כן אבקשך. אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, אדוני רחום וחנון, אלוהים שדי איום ונורא. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון אהיה אשר אהיה. שתבוא תפילתי לפני כיסא כבודך. עבור כל הצדיקים והחסידים, התמימים והישרים, ברוך אתה, שומע תפילה.
Page 23. בחודש השביעי באחד לחודש, יהיה לכם שבתון. זיכרון תרועה מקרא קודש. כל מלאכת עבודה לא תעשו. In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, there shall be a sacred assembly, a cessation from work, a day of commemoration proclaimed by the sound of the shofar. Yehi ratzon milfanecha, Adonai Eloheinu be'Elohei Avotenu be'imotenu, shetechadesh aleinu et kol beit Yisrael, את השנה הזאת, שנת 5782, לחיים ולשלום, ששון ולשמחה, לישועה ולנחמה, ונאמר אמן. May it be your will, eternal, our God, God of all generations, that the year 5782 bring to us and the whole house of Israel life and peace, joy and exaltation, redemption and comfort. And let us say, Amen. Amen. On page 24, we continue with Baruch Hu. You'll see in our program tonight some of the special readings and songs that we're going to be doing that are not in the prayer books. I invite you to follow along if you'd like. We're on page 7, You and I. You and I am not immortal. Whatever I put off for later may never be. Whoever doesn't know now that I love them may never know. I have killed time. I have squandered it. I have lost days, weeks, as a man of unlimited wealth might drop coins on the street and never look back. I know now that there will be an end, a limit, but there is time, valuable and precious time, to walk, to talk, to breathe, time to touch, taste, care, to warm the child who is cold and lonely. There is time to love. I promise myself, I will, I am ready. I am ready to give, I am ready to give and to receive. I'm ready to give and to receive love. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Blessed is the one who loves your people, Israel. We are about to continue with Shema. As we have been discussing on Friday nights here at West End Temple, there are different traditions for sitting and standing for the Shema. The early Reformed thinkers stood in order to emphasize the universal message of oneness. In our Reform movement's reclaiming of Jewish tradition, we now see many sitting for the Shema so as to become grounded in your seat, close your eyes perhaps, and enable thorough concentration. So I leave it to you to decide what feels right to you in this moment. Maybe tomorrow you will just try something else as we come together for this ancient and new declaration of our faith. So we continue with Shema on page 26.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We continue on page 28 with Mi Chamocha, our people's song for freedom.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורות תהילות אוסף מלך. מלכותך ראו באו בניך, בוקע אליהם לפני משה ומרים, צלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני כל ישראל.
Page 29. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. May we lie down this night in peace and rise up to life renewed. May night spread over us a shelter of peace, of quiet and calm, the blessing of rest. There will come a time when morning will bring no word of war or famine or anguish. There will come a day of happiness, of contentment, of peace. Praised be the source of joy within us, for the night and its rest, for the promise of peace. We rise now for the Chatzi Kaddish, the Reader's Kaddish, page 29.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו. וישתבח, ויתפעל, ויתרומם, ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה. בריחו. מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמה, ואמרו
Page 32. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha salah. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who strive to be holy declare your glory day by day. Please be seated as we turn to page 34. In love and favor, O God, you have chosen us from all the peoples, hallowing us with your mitzvot. Our sovereign, you have summoned us to your service, that through us your great and holy name may become known in all the earth. In your love, O God, you have given us this day of remembrance, to hear the sound of the shofar, to unite in worship, and to recall the exodus from Egypt. We read together, Our God and God of all ages, be mindful of your people Israel on this day of remembrance, and renew in us love and compassion, goodness, life, and peace. This day remember us for well-being. Amen. This day bless us with your nearness. Amen. This day help us to live. Amen. Our God and God of our ancestors, may you rule in glory over all the earth, and let your grandeur be acclaimed throughout the world. Reveal the splendor of your majesty to all who dwell on earth, that all your works may know you as their maker, and all the living acknowledge you as their creator. Then all who breathe shall say, the sovereign God of Israel is the one whose dominion extends to all creation. Page 36.
Retzeh Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ava tekabel u'tehile ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael. Yisrael Amecha El karov lechol koreav penei el avadecha v'chanenu שפוך רוחך עלינו ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון.
Be gracious, eternal God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. Oh, may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed is the Eternal, whose presence gives life to Zion and to all Israel. We enter into silent prayer.
רצונים רפי יהיו לרצונים רפי וגיוני בי לפניך אדוני צורי of my mouth, the meditations of my heart, be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Say shalom bimbroma say shalom aleinu le'achor Israel ve'imru
We continue now on page 40. Please rise, and I'd like to invite Liz Keenan to open the ark. Page 40. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, we have sinned against you. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol aleinu, Ba'alol aleinu b'tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and on our children. Avinu Malkeinu, Chale dever, v'cherev, v'ra'av me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to sickness, war, and famine. Avinu Malkeinu, Kale kol tsar mastin me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, make an end to all oppression. Avinu Malkeinu, kodbenu b'sefer chayim tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us for blessing in the book of life. Avinu Malkeinu, chadesh aleinu, shana tova. Avinu Malkeinu, let the new year be a good year for us. Avinu Malkeinu, harem keren Yisrael amecha. Avinu Malkeinu, give strength to your people Israel. Avinu Malkeinu, chonenu va'anenu, ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseh imanu tzedakah v'chesed, v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, be gracious and answer us, for we have little merit. Treat us generously and with kindness, and be our help.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol aleinu.
A story of Rebbe Nachman of Bratslav. A story of a dream, a journey, and finally of finding treasure upon returning home. Once upon a time, there was a man who dreamed of a treasure buried under a bridge next to the castle in the great city. He dreamed of it 3 times, and each time the dream became more and more realistic. He decided to go in pursuit of the treasure. So he packed a small bag with some food and his talit and his tefillin, and he started off to the great city. When he arrived, behold, there was the bridge and the castle, and even the guard at the gate of the castle, just as he had seen it in his dream. He waited there for a few days, unsure of what to do since he was afraid of the guard. But finally, the guard approached him and asked what he was doing there. He explained. He told the guard about the dream with the treasure under the bridge near the castle. He told the guard, "I even saw your face in my dream." The guard laughed. Only a fool would follow such a dream. Why, for 3 nights in a row, I dreamed about a certain village with a certain Jew. And then he named the man's village and said the man's name. And that man had a treasure buried under his stove. But do you think that I believe in such foolish things? The man smiled, and he thanked the guard. He started off on his long journey home. Upon returning, he started to dig underneath his stove. And behold, he unearthed the treasure from the dream of the guard. This Rosh Hashanah, we are the man in the story. Tonight, we have arrived home after a long journey. For those of us in the sanctuary, look around. We have returned home to this beautiful, peaceful place to celebrate the Jewish New Year. And for those of you joining from your actual home, this is your home too. Whether or not you have stepped foot here in this temple since the pandemic, whether or not we have ever stepped foot in here at all, this is the first Rosh Hashanah in this temple in 2 years. To all of us, I say, welcome back and welcome home. There is treasure to be found in this home. Some of us know that treasure well, and others of us have yet to discover it. It belongs to all of us. But like the man in the story, in order to find it, we need to dream. I want to share now some of my personal story, which is connected to my dream of a synagogue. When I was growing up, I went through some difficult times. My parents divorced when I was in 3rd grade, and in 9th grade, my mom had breast cancer, but she has now survived more than 30 years. Nonetheless, I struggled. I struggled to process what I was going through: pain and loss and uncertainty and fear. But throughout, my temple became my home. My rabbi, Stacy Offner, always had a smile and a warm laugh for me. Whatever I was going through, I knew that when I came to the temple, I would be welcomed and embraced and seen. I would be able to be part of something bigger than what I was going through. Community, ancient wisdom, beautiful melody. I will never forget one Shabbat when Rabbi Offner's spouse, Nancy, turned around and said with a huge smile how much she liked my black nail polish. In those days, it was not trendy. It was a little bit macabre. Black nail polish showed how I felt a lot of the time. But Nancy saw me for who I was, in all that I was. In her smile, I knew that I was home. It was a home that was a foundation, a lifeline through the storms I went through. After my bat mitzvah, Rabbi Offner enlisted me to chant Torah, to tutor other kids for their b'nai mitzvahs, to be an assistant teacher in the religious school. I had a tight group of friends that were my temple friends, and I always loved seeing the older folks at the temple. They were like an extended family for me. My temple was a place where I could give back, where I felt a sense of purpose and meaning. This experience of my temple as my home was the seed of my dream to be a rabbi and to build with you such a home, a place where each of us feels embraced and held and seen, a place where each of us feels a sense of purpose and meaning, a place where each of us feels that we can make a difference. Over the summer, I have had the opportunity to speak with many of you about West End Temple. I have heard of Rabbi Weiss and his strong leadership, his kind presence, and his involvement in the community. I have heard of Rabbi Sloan and her incredible and tireless care, especially in the aftermath of Sandy, how she brought the Torahs into her home and brought bagels to those cleaning up their properties. I have seen how the incredible dedication of so many of you has sustained this community, each of you working from your own individual passions and talents. I have heard stories, and I have started to see for myself generous gifts of time and effort and money and spirit, which have strengthened this community and made it a home. It has been a challenging year during this pandemic. Many of us were scared to leave our homes. Some of us had COVID, many of us cared for loved ones who were ill, and some of us are still caring for loved ones who are ill. Last year, not one of us celebrated the holidays in the sanctuary. And yet, the temple continued. The preschool operated with tremendous success. The Sunday school continued in person. Services, meetings, and even the search for the new rabbi, I think she's here somewhere, continued virtually. Your dreams continued. Dreams of continuing to fill our building with Jewish life and activity, of expanding our reach beyond our current membership to reach those in the broader Jewish community searching for Jewish meaning. Dreams of filling our building with children from the community, and dreams of filling our building with all kinds of activity, sports and interfaith events and communal celebrations, so that we truly become a beacon in our area. And so this is our dream, a temple that is a home filled with treasure, the treasure found in being embraced and held and seen, the treasure found in discovering purpose and meaning, the treasure found in becoming a beacon. Some of us know that treasure well, and others of us have yet to find it, but it belongs to all of us. A major theme of Rosh Hashanah and of the entire high holiday season is returning, or teshuvah, returning to God, returning to the start of another new year, returning to our best selves, returning to community. And so that is the journey that I want us to go on together, starting this Rosh Hashanah, a journey that takes us home to West End Temple, a journey that lets us discover the treasure that is already here, a journey that returns us all to the treasure of seeing one another and embracing one another, to the treasure of living out our purpose and finding meaning, to the treasure of serving as a beacon in our community, a journey in which we return at long last to unearth the treasure here in our own home. Shana Tova.
We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again and again to truth, to we return again to truth. Join us. We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again and again to home, to we return again to
We turn now to page 43 as we continue with Aleinu. I'd like to invite now Sherry Copeland and her family once more to open the ark. Please rise, page 43. It is hard to sing of oneness when our world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were, in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and our words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives most fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of a whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one whose life now ended brought us closer to the source of life, in whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. Our thoughts turn to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, including Judith Rintel, beloved mother of Joanne Abreu. If you are in the period of 1 year following the passing of a loved one, or if you are observing a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a death this Rosh Hashanah, please rise and share the name of your loved one. May remain standing. Our hearts open as well to the wider circles of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing in this new year and always. We continue now with Kaddish Yatom, the mourners' Kaddish. Please rise and join the company of the mourners. Page 45. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alama divarach Hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon u'b'chayei techol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imeru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shmei dekudusha b'richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alama v'meru. Amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'meru. Amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'meru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And we say together, Amen. I'd like to call upon Sherry Copeland, the president of our congregation, for some announcements.
Good evening. Shana Tova to one and all. I am honored to have this opportunity to greet you on behalf of West End Temple as your president. As we enter the Jewish year 5782, we are once again reminded of our temple's presence in our lives. The holidays give us the opportunity to reflect on our relationships with God, with family, and with friends. As we come together in observance of our Jewish faith, we choose to share this time surrounded by our temple community and the inviting environment which it provides. On a more personal note, I loved hearing the music here for the first time in 2 years. It was so great. It reminds me of growing up. I would like to thank Rabbi Epstein, student cantor Gabriel Lehrman, pianist Rose Moskowitz, and the choir for the beautiful service you have put together for us this evening. Thank you. Additionally, thank you to those who had honors this evening. You are our loyal members who give freely of your time and support. To the rest of you, thank you for being here tonight and celebrating the holiday with us. We rely on support from our community to ensure the future of our temple and would be so grateful if you would consider contributing towards our holiday appeal. If you noticed in your books, there was an envelope. Please take the pledge card if you've not already done so. Fill it out and place it in the basket located in the lobby today, tomorrow, next week. Thank you in advance for your kindness and your generosity to this year's Kol Nidre appeal to help us do what we do best, continue our programming for ourselves, our families, and for the community around us. Rabbi Rebecca Epstein, Barak Epstein, and I invite you to a festive oneg tonight to be held outside in the tent. Please take some food from the lobby, I think it's in the lobby, on your way out and head outside. Rosh Hashanah services will take place tomorrow morning at 10:15 in the sanctuary. Family services at 2:30 outside in the tent, and Tashluk at the beach at 3:30 on Beach 147th Street. If you open your program, you will notice that we had generous contributions, it's listed on the first page, from Judy Rubin and the Ladies Guild, the Rosh Hashanah Honey, and the new pew cushions that you're sitting on in the sanctuary. This Weifler, yay, we got the cushion. This Weifler Levine Musumeci families for the Bema flowers in honor of Liv and her extraordinary role as cantor this summer. Thank you, Liv. Allison McFeely Weintraub for the family service Apples and Honey, that's tomorrow. Cara Sogluzio for the Rosh Hashanah family crafts, and Liz Keenan, Thomas Burke, and Liv Musumeci for their tech and production assistance. Thank you all, and wishing you a sweet and healthy new year. You're welcome.
Couple more things I just want to add. If you look at the upcoming events part of your program, I want to just point out two things. One, we have a generous grant from the Wexner Foundation to run intergenerational programs this year for teens and seniors. So teen, loosely defined as 5th grade and up. Senior, loosely defined, however you want. So we would love to have you join us Sundays once a month to be able to share between the generations. And if you're interested in doing that, let me know. We're going to have options in both Zoom and in person, so we'd love to be able to have you participate. Also, this Friday, September 10th at 7:30 p.m. is our Shabbat service, but also the commemoration of the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So I invite you to come and attend this important opportunity to worship together for Shabbat. The story of 9/11 is also intimately linked with my story of becoming a rabbi, so I would love to share more about that with you and also honor our first responders and those whose families had fallen members in the tragedy. So with that, I would like now to continue with the holiday kiddush on page 42, and I'd like to invite Luke Hargman up as well, who will lead us in Ha-Motzi, but after we sing Adon Olam. On page 47, please rise.
We'll do Adon Olam first, and then we'll do the wine. Adon Olam Asher Malach, Hay-Adadai, Adadadadai, B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra, Hay-Adadai, Adadadadai, Nekasa B'chefzo Kol, Hay-Adai, Adadadai, Adadai, Azai Melech Shmo Nikra, Hay-Adai, Adadadadai, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לנסה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא האז והמזרח. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לנסה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חברי ביתי שרה, והוא מנשי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לנסה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, בידו הפקיד רוחי, בעת אישן ועירה, ועם רוחי גוויעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, לנסה בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא,
Now we continue with the Holiday Kiddush, page 42.
You want to? I see. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo,
Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo,
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol am, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה את יום הזיכרון הזה, יום תרועה מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch Shemo,
מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל ביום הזיכרון. ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch
Amen. Beautiful. Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu shetachadesha aleinu shana tova umetuka. Our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generation, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits and renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. Shana tova tikatevu v'techatemu. May be inscribed and sealed for a good year. And we say together, Amen.
Amen.
Shana tova.
Leshana tova tikatevu, Leshana tova